Congo, the maid of honor. Over to the mic. Everybody, please help me welcome the maid of honor, Carrie Harrison.
Aaron, your shawl's behind you. On the ground.
Fine. Taking video here. Who's doing his taking video?
Right, sure. You're recording? I'm not recording it right now.
You gotta care.
Okay, well, good evening. I want to first thank Jim and Jean, Doug and Patty for a fabulous weekend that they put on. We couldn't have done it without you. It's been a great So, those of you who haven't met, my name is Carrie, and I'm the maid of honor. I'm so happy to be here tonight to celebrate the wedding of my best friend Michelle to her new husband Paul. I think we can all agree we've never seen Michelle look more stunning, and Paul is one lucky man. I met the beautiful bride about 9 years ago. I was new to Chicago, struggling to find a good group of girlfriends, and one day at a volleyball game, my best close friend, Jim Law, was like, you know, you really need to meet my girlfriends. I think you'd get along great. So the rest, as they say, is history. But that's only because of how inclusive and welcoming Michelle is. And there wasn't a ladies' night or group outing that went by since that she didn't invite me to. And I don't think she ever knew how grateful I was for that. It's part of the reason I stayed in Chicago. So I'm honored to be here as one of her closest friends, helping her celebrate one of the happiest days of her life. So many of you don't know this about Michelle, but she's so inclusive and welcoming that many of her close girlfriends were often invited out on her dates with her. She knows. And poor Emmy was actually even invited on some of the breakups with her.
Moral support.
Right. But we all knew Paul was the one when we never received any invitations to go out on any of their dates. So typically the maid of honor gives a little advice on marriage, but since I'm not yet an expert on marriage, and I am an expert on Michelle, so Michelle, today, Paul not only becomes your husband, but your new best friend. So Paul, I'd like to share some insights from Michelle's old best friend to her new very best friend.
I like that.
First, if you ever upset Michelle, remember she loves wine, cupcakes, and shopping. She also loves photos of Domo, especially dressed in his appropriate holiday outfits. So, those of you that may not know Domo, he's the mascot for 7-Eleven coffee, but for some reason, if you sprinkle pictures of him in Michelle's day throughout the workday, it always puts a smile on her face.
It's like a big brownie.
Second, Michelle will sometimes need to travel on short notice when she needs a fresh perspective on life. One of my best memories of Michelle was when we went on our last-minute trip to Mexico. When I say Mexico, we really went to Cancun, but we were too old to tell that to anybody. So, pretending we were celebrating our 21st birthdays all over again was all the perspective either of us needed. It took us weeks to recover our 30-year-old bodies. So no, when you go on these last-minute vacations, they're not very restful. Third, a word of warning. Please don't ever try to keep up dancing with Michelle. Many have tried, none have succeeded. You'll only end up with multiple blisters and having consumed way too much Red Bull. When Michelle gets a pension for a dance party, all you can do is send her to Bree and Emily. You're all in for a treat tonight, by the way, they're here. They're the only ones that can keep up with her. Fourth, if you are fighting and need a little alone time, feel free to send Michelle to Chicago for a ladies' weekend. This will only include wine and Portino and dancing in Winter Park. But no, we won't send her back in the same condition. And for those of you who have seen Michelle and I after an evening of wine at Portino, you know what I'm talking about. But Know that a night out on the town with her single ladies only makes her more grateful to come home to you. And finally, one of Michelle's most endearing qualities, to most of us, that is her conversational language skills. So, Paul, please don't ever try to break her ears, whatevs, or hot messes. It's what makes Michelle my Michelle. In fact, know that September 19th is Talk Like a Pirate Day? Yes! You will only win major points. Okay. So, Paul, no, you're not that. I could have been worse. So, Paul, you are now better prepared for what lies ahead. You've chosen a wonderful woman to be by your side, and all I ask is you take good care of her and always keep her laughing. And Michelle, thanks for being such a wonderful friend. I'll forever be grateful for your infectious laugh, open heart, and optimistic spirit. Remember that I, along with your new best friend, all of your family and friends, will always be here for whatever you need and wherever life takes you. So, if everyone would please raise your glass to Paul and Michelle. May the happiness they have tonight only get us started on the journey.
That was great. It was amazing.
Keep it going for the Maid of Honor.